Hey, what's up, Ember Shores fam? Welcome back to another episode of How to Survive Ember Shores with me, your host, Lillian. I am tired. Yes, this is a back-to-back video from my previous video. I wanted to get out all of this information to you right now because I just got back from going to some Mayan ruins. See, I'm really tired. I went on a red eye this morning, got into Cancun, went out for breakfast. That was a whole story. I'll tell it later. I don't want to talk about it right now. Anyways, so please bear with me. I'm very tired, but I wanted to get this information out to you guys, and gals and theys and thems. So yeah, anyways, things about customs, immigration, the resort, transportation. We're just gonna go over all of it because I know I have mentioned it in the previous videos, but I just wanted to kind of combine it all down into one video for y'all. So first things first, when you arrive in Cancun and you go through, you get off the plane, you're gonna end up going down to your immigration lines. This morning my line was actually pretty long. It did go fairly quickly. We were only waiting in line for maybe half hour, maybe 45 minutes or so, because there was our flight and a second flight that came in. So we arrived at about 7 a.m. so the lines were not that bad. I've seen it at peak time of like 1, 2, 3 o'clock, and we were standing in that line for like 2.5, almost, I think it was like 2.5 hours. So it was a really long. So if you are coming in later in the afternoon, be aware that getting through immigration may take you longer, just because of the influx of flights. So if you have an earlier flight or a super late flight, it might not be as bad, but just be aware of that. But when you are going through immigration, you may or may not be selected to go through the secondary check where they go through all of your bags. It is up to the immigration's discretion. You'll go up through the first gate, or for the first turnstile. So you'll like go through the line, you'll get to the first turnstile where they'll stamp your passport. They'll ask you, where are you going? How long are you gonna be here? They do the passport thing, and then you go through. You'll end up passing through a duty-free store, which you can go ahead and purchase all your alcohol if you are planning on drinking at the resort post hours of the bars opening up, or bars opening or closing. Anyways, words. Or you just want to have that extra stuff. So you'll go through duty free, and then you'll make your way over to the luggage carousels. If you have luggage, checked in luggage, make sure you grab that, and then you'll head on out. At that point, you may get stopped by immigration. I think they're technically immigration, but you'll see some people in uniforms. They may ask you if you have any food or electronics or anything. I don't believe they'll ask you specifically for electronics anymore though, because they have lifted the rule of like one laptop or like one electronic per person in the past year or two. So you don't have to be worried about that anymore, but they are looking for like food, fruit, nuts, all that stuff. They just don't want foreign pests or pesticides or any contamination to be coming into the country and potentially jeopardizing crops. So if you've got fresh fruit or nuts, don't bring it. Bring packaged stuff, you guys. I brought my Sour Patch Kids. I brought sour candy of some sort because I need my sour candy, but that's factory sealed. So I was able to come in with that. But other than that, once you get through immigration, you'll end up going through some double doors out to the shuttle area, and literally as you walk out, there will be a person with a sign that says Ember Shores. They are still in their blue Hawaiian shirts. This is the lady who was there this morning. I'm not staying at the main resort, so we are actually going back tomorrow to hop onto the shuttle, since my reservation does start for Thursday. But yeah, this is the gal who helped me out. She was awesome. It did look like they had a list of some sort this time. So I know that there were a couple of people over there talking to her while I was kind of just taking a picture and asking if I could take a picture of her and her sign. But she was on the phone with, I believe, her superiors. I didn't stay for the entire conversation because my shuttle was on its way to pick me up already. But they did have a list. I'm not 100% sure what that list was exactly. So just be aware that if you are coming in early and you did not book straight through Ember Shores, they may deny you a shuttle to the resort. I have no idea. There are other people who are already at the resort and they did book through the resort and they were able to get onto the shuttle. So I think it may be up to the discretion of the shuttle. So be aware of that. Anyways, what else did I want to talk about? So that's everything to know about immigration, going through the airport. I already talked about visit tax in my other video. So if you have not looked at that video or watched it, please make sure that you watch the visit tax video. We also Ember Shore sign is the same. And yeah. Okay, now going back to things about the resort. It is an all-inclusive resort. That means that your food, your drink, everything is included. Festival ticket, everything, okay? So you just need to get yourself to the airport. Now, once you are on resort, depending on what tower you're staying in, it is the access of the restaurants that you have. In addition, if you have the premium rooms versus the regular rooms, that will affect your ability to make reservations as well. I just recently learned about this as well, and so I'm giving you this information. I probably learned it within the past couple of weeks, but I've just been so busy with work and life that I have forgotten to make a video. So here I am doing the video now. Oh my goodness, the ADHD made my brain stop thinking. Restaurants, that's right, restaurants and premium things. If you booked a premium room, actually not, hold on, let me rewind. Depending on what tower you're staying at, whether that's the Riviera, the Maya Grand, the Palace, the Beach, Caribe, or the Superior, I think is the last one. I'm not really 100% sure. But on the website, it has a breakdown of each of the different towers and where you're able to eat. But basically, if you look at the map, okay, if you look at this map, over here on the far side, actually I think it's technically the left side over here, of the entire resort, this is the all-inclusive adults tower. This is the Riviera. This is where all of the action is happening. This is where everything is going to be based around. Guests who are staying in the Riviera can eat anywhere on property, okay? If you're staying in the Palace, which is on the other side, and maybe over here on the map, I don't have it up right now, but yeah, it's on the other opposite side, and they can pretty much eat everywhere except for the main tower of the Riviera. Now, if you're staying in any of the middle towers right here, you can only eat within those towers right here, okay? So just be aware of that. I do believe that for drinks, only for the beach, specifically for the pool stage, you will definitely be able to drink at the Riviera for everyone. I'm not sure about the beach. I am not sure about the indoor arena sets as well. So just be aware of that. I honestly have no idea. Be prepared that you may need to go back to your resort towers to be able to go get your alcohol, or just bring your water bottle, bring your refillable bottle, and have yourself get a big old drink before the pool sets are done, so that you have that for the rest of the evening before you go back to dinner or something, to be able to come back and enjoy the rest of that. Speaking of getting from tower to tower, there should be a red double-decker bus that shuttles people from tower to tower. I'm not 100% sure what time those shuttles start running or how late they'll go, as well as like how late they'll go during the actual festival. But be aware that from edge to edge of the furthest points of the entire Barcelo complex is about 2 miles, okay? So make sure you've got your walking shoes, bring an extra pair of shoes, because you may end up getting a lot of steps in. Now, as for food, we're gonna circle back to that conversation about premium versus regular rooms. If you have a premium room, you can pretty much make unlimited restaurant reservations no matter what. Now, if you don't have a premium room, I don't know if this will change for the actual festival, but from people who are on resort right now, they said that they were only able to book 1 day for every 3 days, or sorry, 1 sit down meal for every 3 days to make that reservation, okay? So if you do not have a premium room, you're only gonna be able to have access to 1 reservation sit down meal. That may change for the actual festival. I have no idea. This is the first time that Ember Shores is being held at this resort, so it's a learning curve for everyone. Please be patient. There's going to be a lot of kinks that need to be worked out this year, very similarly to the first year at the Paradisus and the Marriott, and then honestly the second year at the Paradisus and the Fiesta Americana. So just be aware of that. In addition, when you are checking in to your hotels the first day, make sure you have your passport on hand. If you're a Mexican citizen, I'm not sure if you also need a passport. I would bring it just in case along with your regular ID, but the assumption is that the majority of people are flying in from out of country to be able to go to this festival. So use your own discretion. I would email Ember Shores if you don't have a passport and you are a Mexican resident, if a regular ID will suffice. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry. Oh, and one more thing about restaurants. I know that there was a post in the Ember Shores Facebook group asking about clothing or warning people about clothing for the restaurants. It is pretty standard across all resorts as well as like restaurants, but you need to be wearing shoes and shorts or pants and shirts to have service. So that's not something that's new. However, some of the sit-down restaurants do require you to have pants. I did mention this in one of my other videos about just restaurants in general. But if you're a dude, you want to make sure that you're wearing shoes. Apparently they want closed-toed shoes as well as long pants. You may need to wear a polo shirt or like a regular t-shirt. I'm not 100% sure. But that is what the requirement is right now. For my ladies, you need to make sure that you're wearing some sort of top that are covering the girlies, okay? Or the non-girlies if you swing that or if you vibe that way. I don't know, I'm tired, you guys, I'm sorry. Words aren't working for me. But make sure you're wearing pants, make sure you're bringing shoes, closed-toed shoes if you're unsure. Most likely though, some of these rules and regulations, restrictions may get lifted because of the weekend, since they do know that there's a whole festival coming in through the resort. Now, there may be normies on property of like the other towers. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not there right now. But if you don't have your festival wristband and your resort wristband, you will not be able to get access to the main Riviera Tower. So make sure that you don't lose your wristbands. They do clamp it onto you, like they do a little plastic crimpy thingy, very similar to what they did at the Paradisus, I believe. But yeah, make sure you're wearing shoes, make sure you're wearing socks. If you've already left and you don't have any of those things, supposedly they have like borrow pants type of things, but I couldn't really 100% tell you because I'm not at the resort yet, as you can tell. I'm not there yet. So yeah, just be aware of that. We have no idea on what the situation with clothes and restaurants is going to be, but I would just bring extra ones just in case. Another thing I wanted to talk about, or at least make a comment on, is that people have been asking, like, what's the stage setup look like? When is that going to happen? Most of the production team does not fly until literally today or even tomorrow. Most likely today though, because it is Wednesday, which means that tomorrow is Thursday. They are most likely going to start building all of the stages tomorrow. In the second year, I think it was the second year, they ended up having to tear down their entire beach stage and put it along the top wall. It was absolutely incredible. I work in production and I was so blown away on how fast they moved that. So be patient, okay? Be patient, everyone. I'm very much excited and very much looking forward to see where and how they're gonna do the stage setups this year. But sometimes we just need a little surprise in our life, okay? The best way that I can help y'all set your expectations is if you make it to Cancun, you make it to the resort, and you get home safe, then I would say that is a complete win in your Ember Shores trip. My first year that I came out here, I had like a lot of expectations and like they did not quite get met. So the next year when I came in, I had the mindset of like, if I can make it to Ember Shores, I can make it to the resort, and I can make it home, it's a success for me. And quite honestly, the second year had its bumps and curls and whatever things, so it was interesting to navigate through that. But through every year of Ember Shores, I have not been disappointed, quite honestly, even though that there have been weird hiccups and bumps. Things happen, things are going to be out of our control, and we just kind of have to roll with the punches. This festival is still a baby, okay? A lot of us are coming for the first time to Ember Shores. Every single one of us is coming to a brand new festival, basically, because it is at a different resort. So they're going to do things a whole lot differently than the Paradisus because of just like the way that the resort is laid out and mapped out. So anyways, I think that might be it that I wanted to talk about. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in the comments below and I will try to get those answered for you. I am gonna go take a nap. I am gonna go sleep right now because I've been up for far too long and not enough sleep. So I apologize if this video was a little scatterbrained and just not fully thinking, because you know what? My brain is not fully thinking, but that's okay. Anyways, I will see you all on the Ember Shores on Thursday for those who are coming in early. If not, I will see you all on Friday. Oh, one last thing before I leave. If you are coming in on Friday, be aware that you will most likely miss a lot of sets. Okay, my first year that I came in, we flew in at about 2 o'clock. We did not arrive to the resort until almost 5 o'clock, and we were not on the beach ready for sets until almost 6. So just be aware of that, everyone, okay? It is not anyone's fault. It is just the case of travel. Unfortunately, there are circumstances that we can't control, like how long the immigration line is going to be. If you're able to make a shuttle, the drive over is over an hour now. So just manage your expectations and realize that it is a further resort, and there are a lot of other factors that are coming into this if you are coming in on Friday. So just be aware, because check-in on Friday is also sometimes horrendous. The lines can be really long. This is why I always recommend people coming in at least a day early. I really like coming in on Thursday just so that I can make content for y'all and do all those good things. Obviously, I'm here in Mexico already and it's Wednesday, but I'm not necessarily at the resort, which quite honestly, I may end up changing how I do things next year, but that's a problem for next year. So anyways, manage your expectations. Don't bring in anything that you think could be of consequence, because you don't want to end up in Mexican jail or on a no-fly list, okay? And then make sure you pay your visit tax. Make sure you check out that other video and just set your expectations, y'all, okay? And spread plur, like seriously, spread plur. Be nice to everybody. This is my favorite festival, and y'all can debate me. This is my hot take, but Ember Shores is better than EDC, hands down. This festival has ruined all other festivals for me, and like granted, I haven't been to a whole lot, but like the convenience of Ember Shores and being able to like just fly to the airport, they pick me up, and then I go to the resort, and then I festival party all weekend and just hang out with all my friends, like, fantastic. And then they take me back to the airport, and then I go home. It's great. So yeah, anyways, I'm done rambling. I will talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.